Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome to Wholesale Hotties, a place where ladies in real estate are talking about real estate. I'm your host and MC for the evening, Sharon Lee Smith, together with my co-host Monique Fell tonight above me. Hey, Monique. And my other co-host, Donda Molnix. Hey, Donda, how are you, girl?
Good.
This week we have a special guest. Her name is Samantha okay, I'm gonna butcher this.
You're gonna butcher it.
Lencioni. Is that it? Yay! Okay, I am from Rhode Island originally. We are about 78% Italian up there, so Lencioni isn't that difficult.
Okay. You've been butchered 1,000 times.
Welcome to the show, Sam. How are you?
I'm amazing. How are you? Thank you for having me.
You're very welcome. I'm so glad that you approached me. And the way you did, you're like, let me tell your audience how to go from 0 to $1 million in real estate. And I'm like, dude, I need this girl on. Let's check her out. What are we doing here?
I'm trying.
So, hey, let's start with you. Where are you from? How'd you get started in real estate? All the good things.
Okay, so I'm from Chicago. I lived there my whole life. And then I was working for a capital investment company who had like 5,000 assets between North Carolina, South Carolina, North Carolina, and Georgia and Florida. So we acquired and we flipped properties. And as any hedge fund, you know, they're purchasing based on interest rates and the cost of debt. And when the interest rate skyrocketed, everyone got laid off. I was the last to get laid off, but I was still laid off. And I was laid off on my birthday of all things, right? So that just completely sucked. And then I went to a girl that I met there. So we were project management professionals. We ran all of the construction. So like once a property got scoped, we would walk it through and make sure that all the milestones were being hit, making sure that people got paid out, approving change orders, you know, all the fun things that come with construction and all that. And another girl that I was with there, she was like, we had an instant connection, and she was like, I've got this sub 2 course, like, hey, go take it. I haven't done anything with it in like 2 years and whatnot. So I'm like, okay. So I crash course it. I didn't know what escrow was. I didn't know what I had no, all I knew in my mind was like, you have to go to the bank and you have to get a loan and you have to do all these things to buy a house.
Yes.
And this opened my mind to like something completely different. So, and I'm one of those people, I don't have analysis paralysis. I'm more of like, I'm going to jump in and get messy.
Yeah.
And I do, and I have, trust me. I made some questionable choices, but I learned, and it has done nothing but benefit me in the way that I was like, you know what? I am never going to work for another single person in my life ever again. We've done over, I don't even know. Like we hold right now about $10 million in assets across Florida. We have purchased multifamily properties, single family properties using subject to, but now I've kind of pivoted into the Morby method a little bit, like kind of doing, the DSCR, keeping people on the LLC and doing capital contributions or an equity participation, if you would. That way they're not in second position. You're not offending anybody who's on the first loan. It's a tweak. It's not, there's always a way around things. Like there is a million ways to skin a cat. I hate saying that because I'm an animal lover, but there are a million freaking ways to skin a cat. And we found out that like very quickly, like our first refi. It's super lucrative because we were able to refinance it for like over $500,000. And that was like net to us. After we built it, it was in like a really high, gated community, all the things that had, but it was a piece of shit house. And this lady was also a piece of shit. So she really was. She was awful. Like she lied to us and so much stuff. But we ended up building it. We spent about $120,000 in construction. We exhausted all of our credit and all of everything. Like we bet it all on black, if you will, right? Like all of it. And when we did, we ended up being able to refinance it. We pulled out, it was like $635,000 net. And that's what enabled us to be able to go through and get all the other properties that we own right now. So we're slowly learning and kind of pivoting as needed, but always having an open mind because there's so many ways to do things, and people don't understand that. And we deal a lot direct to agent. I have my partner who is amazing. He is direct to agent all the time. Like he has relationships with agents, all this stuff, and he's not convinced them, but has educated them in the ways of being able to say, hey, there are different ways to be able to like take these things down and being able to close. So it's been such an amazing journey. And like, I couldn't be like more, I couldn't praise like Pace in his community and all the things that he's doing in there. Cause it's honestly like, I mean, there's no, it's been just such an amazing like whole thing in my life to where everything pivoted and I'm no longer having to stay at a 9-to-5 job. I work on my own term. I mean, I work every day, and I always say like I left a 9-to-5 to work 24 hours a day, which is kind of true.
That's kind of true.
It's exciting. It is. Yeah. And it's for you, and you're doing it for you and not necessarily like for somebody else or, breaking your back or having to drive to work and all those things. Like I would never, when we got our first wholesale deal, it was actually 2 wholesale deals. I think I was explaining to you guys earlier, but like I got laid off in September of 2023. And then 2 months later, right before Christmas, because I had no money, I was broke at that point. We made $64,000 in a wholesale assignment between Tucson and Jacksonville. I had 2 properties that I wholesaled, and I couldn't even believe it when I saw it in the bank. It was like what? Like, this is my whole salary. Well, I mean, I was making like $100,000 a year, but still, like, I mean, that's like half my salary.
Half a year. Yeah.
Just by doing what I'm doing. And I was helping these people. Like, it's not just like taking advantage of it. Like, I was helping them. They needed to get out of a situation, and I was able to make a little bit of a markup, and it was like, I would never go back. So that's kind of like how we started and how everything kind of came about. And then it just kind of, snowballed from there. So we were acquiring and holding. We furnished a bunch of places. We're doing midterm rentals, like furnished finders, like traveling lawyers, doctors, things like that. And it's been so far so good, and we're trying to do a little bit more in multifamily. Like I'd rather have 1 roof than 50 because, roofs are expensive. Yeah. You know how it goes. But yeah. And then we have the construction background. Like that's our whole construction's in our heart. Like that's yes. We love it, but we hate it.
It really is a love-hate relationship, right? Because sometimes there's nightmares that you come across, and other times you're like,
always.
But I love it.
And it's like, I was talking to Monique, and I'm like, look, like you, sometimes you have to have a man step in to tell these guys what to do because they don't respect you as a woman. And that's a thing. Yeah. And I am not one of those people who are like, oh, women get, no, that is a fact. Like they don't, they just, so it happens. So you just have to pivot and make things work. And that's what we've been able to do so far. So I'm super happy with it.
Yeah. That's awesome. So, let's expand on that just a little bit. What has it really been like as a woman? Because you started in a man-dominated field, right? I was in construction cost estimating and project management myself, so I totally understand where you're coming from, right? So what was it like for you, in your career, right? Here you are, a woman in a male-dominated world, and now you're moving into this, which really, real estate still is a male-dominated industry. How has that dynamic affected you, both mentally and then just for your own, does it put a fire under your ass like it does me? Or like, how does it work? How is it?
Yes, it does. It does. And what's funny, you're funny because and then I didn't even think about this until you asked that question, but like so sometimes people are really respectful because you're knowledgeable. You can explain like this is a load bearing wall and this is what trusses are. And that, you can explain because construction and what things are supposed to look like. But then you get the ones who like legitimately, I'm not even kidding. This is a guy in North Carolina. When I asked him to send me pictures of his house, he literally sent me dick pics. And then he said he was sorry. He didn't mean to send. He fucking meant to send them. I swear to God. I swear to God, he did. And then I ended up backing out of the deal with him. So there's always that one asshole in the bunch, right? Like you're always going to have those one or two people that are going to be ridiculous, and that's kind of that's what happens. So if you're knowledgeable and you're respectful and you know what you're talking about, like a lot of guys would be like, okay, this chick knows what she's talking about, and they will respect that. But then there's the other side, and there's only a couple of them, but you just got to deal with them on a day-by-day basis, I suppose.
Yeah.
So I mean, it is what it is, and you just roll with the punches.
Yeah. Yeah. It's I come across that quite a bit too. And I mean, for me,
you come across the pictures?
I do. I just had people post this week on Facebook. I had some dude this week just send me a whole slew of them.
I swear, his name is John Tongue. He's in North Carolina, and his wife's name is the same as mine, which is so fucked up.
That's messed up. But no, I really do. Like, it's constant where I get, people approaching in the DMs or whatever. But I can tell you, like, I have had wholesale deals where I completed that deal completely because that seller or buyer or whoever in the picture was more interested in me.
Yes, so you're trying to work it. And I'm not going to say as a woman that I don't try to work it a little bit.
Like afterwards, it's just like, oh, you want to go out for dinner? Oh, no, this was a relationship. And they're like, oh. What did you think? Right? No.
Like, I'm buying your home. Like, are you fucking kidding me right now? Like, I didn't mean to send you those.
Like, wait a minute. Hold up. You have financial problems to a point where you're losing your house, and I'm here to help you. You want to take me out to dinner? What?
Yes, that is exactly what this guy's situation was. And then when I looked him up, because I'm curious, right? His wife, who he just married like 2 years ago, is the same name as I do, Samantha. And I just felt I was going to write her too. I was so blown up by that because it was a really good deal. It would have been a really good deal for me to wholesale.
Yeah.
I completely just pushed. Like that was. I know he meant to send those pictures. It was so gross, and but there's it's like maybe 1 out of 10, I would say, or like that. Maybe 1 out of 20.
Yeah, probably more 1 out of 20. It's not as bad, right? But it's definitely there. And how do you? I know for me how I combat that by being above board and super professional, and then B, not for nothing, but I am going to bury you with facts and information. Like, I do know what the fuck I'm talking about, and you're gonna know that I know what the fuck I'm talking about before we're done with this conversation.
And I love that. See, I have a problem with being too, like, I'm a rapport whore, like I like to build rapport with people. Like I like to, so when men take that as like, oh, this is
on you. No, honey.
So I try to I can't say like what I've done differently with him that I did differently with anybody else, but like I try to be friendly, like, hey, how's everything going? I don't know, like it's hard. It's not, I don't think it's us, it's not you, it's not me. It's just the way that it's perceived. It's like we're trying to be professional, but at the same time we're chicks and they think that, I don't know what they think. Like, and you're right, they're having financial struggles, they're married, and they're still trying to
right.
Yeah, that's exactly what I want. Yeah. Load it on. Send all the pics, babe.
It's common.
I hear you.
So now here you are. You're in this real estate investor space. You have several assets under your belt, and now you've pivoted into general contracting.
No. So I've always had general contracting. Okay. General contracting has always been a thing. What I pivoted to was multifamily. So we were buying a lot of single family, and we're like, oh, we're going to furnish them. We're going to make them short-term rentals. Yeah, great. Well, we did that, and we spent a lot of money doing the whole furnishings and all that stuff. And then we're like, you know what? We want to do, like, I want to do now I'm trying to pivot to multifamily to where we're doing, because I'd rather have that than what we're doing right now, because I mean, there are months where it's vacant, and we're flipping the bill for it. So like we were slowly bleeding money out of a couple of our properties because they weren't being rented the way that Furnish Finder said that they would be, like they would give us an estimated thing, like, oh, they're going to, you'll be able to make this. And then, so, you know, there's no, I wish that data would exist, to be honest with you, because it doesn't. I mean, they fluff you up and they tell you like, hey, everything's going to make like, you know, $2,500 and I have a $1,200 mortgage. And I have some snowbirds that are staying in one of my properties, and it's a $1,400 a month mortgage that we took over from an old lady, 3.5%, amazing. And they're going to stay from November to February, but we bought, we gave them 50 grand at closing. We gave them 50 grand at closing in order to secure the deal, to acquire the deal. So like, we're just kind of like, okay, so now we're out that 50, and then we're kind of like maybe months on, months off. So my point is that like, we're trying to do something to where it's like, okay, I want renters in place. I want them to have nice long leases. I want them to have, you know, a decent track record. And then we can kind of adjust the NOI versus like what the cap rate is and all that stuff. So I'm slowly working on pivoting to multifamily. Like, general contracting is always going to be a thing for me. It's near and dear to my heart. Even though I hate it, I love it. It's just, you know, it's what you know.
It's in your blood now, Samantha.
Huh?
It's in your blood now.
Yeah, exactly. It's just, it is what we know. You know, it's what we know. It's what we're used to. And we're just, you know, and that'll always be a thing. And then, God forbid, if the interest rates drop and the hedge funds start buying again, like, I would love to go back to doing, you know, multiple flips for capital investment companies or hedge funds. That would be amazing. But doing it for homeowners sucks. And then, you know, sucks. And then having to, you know, like, I mean,
Hey, does it suck?
And then doing it for American Homes for Rent and Invitational, like, maintenance. They only want maintenance. Like, we're onboarded with all of these companies, by the way. Like, God bless them, but they are only looking for like fridge repair. It's like, look, I am not doing fridge repair. It's not happening. Like that. Yeah. So I'm looking for more of a deeper, like, hey, give me your turns. Even your turns at this point would be good. Right. You know, just not this maintenance stuff to where like, oh, someone needs their, you know, we did a countertop for somebody a couple of weeks ago, and that went okay. It was all right. We had a good markup on it and whatnot. But, you know, it's just right now, if they would just drop the interest rates to where these hedge funds can buy, this world would be a totally different place for wholesalers, for sellers, for buyers, all of the things. You know, it would just be. But here we are. You know, and I'm not political, and I don't even want to get political. But true. Like, if we could. You know, if the interest rates would drop below a certain, like 4%, like, just give us like 4% for a couple of years. Like, that would be amazing. And then these hedge funds will buy, and then we can go ahead and go in and renovate and do all the things that we need to do and the things that we've been used to for so long. But unfortunately, that's not what's happening.
Yeah, but Samantha, with your talent, it's nice because a lot of people do want to buy their own properties, but then they have to hire a GC, and a lot of times they get screwed over by poor GCs. And so you don't have to worry about that. You've got a great team. You know you're not going to screw yourself.
Yeah.
So that's a huge plus in itself. But on your thing about your rentals, we started taking some of ours and doing lease options on them, where you get a chunk of money down. You have so many years to exercise this purchase, you know, it's non-refundable, and you have so many years to do this. And it's working out really well because we don't have to deal with maintenance, you know.
Dude, that's an amazing we were looking at a $30 million portfolio in Daytona Beach. Mm-hmm. And we went there and visited, like, physically. And it's I can't even explain how this place was laid out, except for, like, is anyone from the Midwest? Projects, you know, like what projects look like, where there's that's how it's laid out, but it's not project. It's a nice community, but it's all like, it was so awesome. And I was like, oh my God, we're gonna take these things down. And we're actually working on the deal with this guy right now with Marcus and Millichap, real estate, and this billionaire who's made so much money buying real estate and stuff. So we're actually like in the acts of doing this. So that property, like, yes, like, you can go in and do it. You can go in, renovate these places, and then sell them off one by one. He has control of the condo association, so you have that money in. Yes, and we were looking at the lease options, because you're right. Sometimes people, you know, if they you get them into it's not your hope, right? But it feels. You still have that cash and you have that money coming in, and it's. I love that. I love the lease option thing. I love the rent to own, you know, scenario.
Yeah.
definitely something that we've been exploring like extensively.
Yeah. And then I find that it's helping a lot of people too that have, like, they're good people, but they just can't get to that next level. And it's like, oh my gosh, I can actually get into my home. And we're trying to actually help them too with, like, hey, you have a lender, you need to start working now on getting your credit figured out, what you need to do in order to purchase this within the next 3 years. And, so.
Yeah, and look, I'm one of those people, like, I had a divorce like a couple of years ago, and everything was in my name. Everything was in my name. My credit is shit right now, like complete shit. So if I needed to bring in, I have to bring in a credit partner for anything that I do, and I'm doing a lot. So it sucks, but you're 100% right. Like, there are people in this situation, like good people that they have good intentions. Like, I paid all my bills until that day, but I swear to fucking God, like the day that everything kind of fell off, it was like it dropped like 120 points. Like, I had an 800 credit score, and then it dropped. But then I'm like, okay, because I got credit partners, I got people that believe in me. That's another thing that I kind of want to express to people is, like, you could have a shitty credit score, but if you have an idea and you have a good work ethic and you are into what you're doing, you're passionate about it, you can do anything you want to do. Like, don't let your credit score limit you. Don't let anything limit you. There is no limitations in this life. Like, you can do whatever the fuck you want to do, and you will be successful as long as you are consistent and you're doing all the things that you need to do. Seriously. Like, and that's actually the message that I want to kind of get out to everybody is it's the truth. Like, you don't need people. And like, I know a lot of these people stay in these abusive relationships and I wasn't abused, don't get me wrong. Like, I was abused emotionally, maybe just because he sucked. But in the fact that, like, you feel like you have to be with somebody because they're making the money. No, bitch, you don't. You don't. You just need to get your own, like, thing and be able to explain to people and be a good, I guess, I don't know, broadcaster and understand, like, this is what we're doing and this is how I want it to happen, and be confident. Confidence, I think, is everything. Like, I've met some people who really suck, but they are so confident and they come across so good. And I'm like, man, like, if they can do it, you can do it. If I can do it, anyone can do it, is basically where I'm at.
Yeah.
So Samantha, let's go back to the multifamily. You indicated multifamily is your thing right now, and what does that look like to you? When you say multifamily, are you talking about a duplex? Are you talking about 500-unit apartment building, or what does that look like for you?
Great question. So I'm talking about all of it. So basically what we are looking at is we're doing mortgage methods to where we are pulling out 75% loan to value. So okay, hey seller, all right, here's $1 million property. I'm going to give you $300,000, okay, a down payment. Would you hold the note at 0% on the rest of it? And people who are on market for 100 plus days, they're usually willing to discuss this. And I have one in Siesta Key right now, a $9.3 million deal. I shit you not. It is the same thing, except I'm giving them 50 because they kind of busted my balls a little bit, but that's okay because it still makes money. So I'm taking a DSCR loan for 75%, but I'm only giving them 50. So not only am I paying them their money, but I'm also getting paid to do the deal and closing costs and commission and all the things. So then that other half of the note sits on the other side, and they are not, and then they're on the LLC with me. So they're not in second position where everybody doesn't want to be. They're in, it's called a capital contributions, equity participation. And not only that, but they are tax free because you are pulling a DSCR loan inside of an LLC where somebody is a member. So they are not getting taxed on that money because that money is a debt. So here you go. I'm going to give you $4.5 million on this $9.3 million property as long as it appraises, and it has to appraise, and or close to it. You have to be comfortable with the appraisal. But okay, $4.5 million. I'm giving you tax free with no capital gains, and then you're going to hold a note for that 4.5, and I'm going to be able to give you X amount of dollars. And how that X amount of dollars like kind of checks out is that you take that 4.5 million, you multiply it by 75% like loan to value. And then, I'm sorry, 9.3 million, 75% loan to value. And then you take that at 7.5% interest. And then whatever that is times 12 months, as long as that exceeds the NOI, and I'm talking after taxes, I'm talking after insurance, there is a sweet, this deal that I'm constructing right now, there's probably about $10,000 or $12,000 in cash flow, and I'm assigning this, by the way, because like I said, my credit sucks, so I can't buy this oil. So the guy who's buying it, he's taking he is already so the assignment fee is inside of that. So I'm giving the seller 30% or 50%. They're pulling out 75%. There's a 25% deficit there, to where they are making a closing cost commission, which there's an agent on this one, and then my assignment, which is like 6 figures. So that's what I'm doing at the current moment. I'm trying to keep these properties myself, but again, like I'm looking for a capital partner, and what that would actually, or not a capital partner. I'm looking for a credit partner, because we have capital. We have tons of capital. We're just looking for I guess I'm not really looking, but I'm just saying, like, if I had a credit partner, then maybe that would look better. And I don't know what that would actually look like in the terms of what do you pay those people, and like I don't know what that looks like, to be honest with you. But at the same, so I'm assigning it just not to have to deal with the bullshit, right? So I'm assigning it to you. You're going to pay me $100,000 for this deal, and then we walk away as friends. And that's what I'm doing with multifamily right now. And the reason I chose, because you could do this with single family. You could do this with single family. Mm-hmm. The problem is you have to make sure that the rents and what the net income is going to exceed whatever your DSCR loan looks like, and then whatever that payment to the seller is going to look like. And that's kind of why I like multifamilies, because there's a lot more room to play in those, So I've been strictly looking for multifamily property and commercial and strim malls. We have a gas station right now, an $8 million gas station in Punta Gorda that we're looking at right now, and I have a meeting with them on Thursday. And he the only thing he's stuck on is the fact that we're doing this the way that we're doing it. He wants a lease option or a contract for deed, which is not very different than the equity participation that I'm saying. So then we talked about this, I want to say, I don't know, my idea of time sucks. So let's just say a month and a half ago. And then he came back yesterday and said, let's jump on a call. And it's crazy to me, because this guy's making hand over fist. He's making a lot. The NOI on this property, on the gas station, and it's like a restaurant that's adjacent, there's a lot of money in there. So we're kind of trying to figure out, I know he needs to sell. I don't know why he wants to sell. And that's why I told the agent's he doesn't need to sell. He's bleeding money. Nah, bitch. I could tell by that conversation that he needs to sell for whatever. Maybe he has a shitty partner. Maybe he wants to move out of the country. There's a million other ways why people would want to sell other than having cash flow. So we're kind of negotiating with that too. So not only am I pivoting towards multifamily, I'm also pivoting towards commercial.
Nice. So can you explain that, the math you said just real briefly again, because you went through that pretty fast for people who are trying to figure out the math situation, how to do that, run that scenario, even to start off with just buying a home, because that is even a way to buy their first rental property.
Sure. So you want to take, okay. So for these Morby methods, so say you have $1 million, just for the sake of math, you have $1 million purchase price. Okay. And then you have, you want to take a 75% DSCR loan at 7.5%. So you put that in your little mortgage calculator, and you find out what that monthly payment is. Now that has to include insurance and taxes and all that good stuff. You multiply that by 12. You look at what the NOI is and what it's making today. And then you subtract that to see what you are able to pay the seller. Because sometimes it's not going to make sense. And you know what's amazing about the LLC method is that you're not succumbed to by the Fed, because I've heard a lot of times, the Fed's not going to allow you to give 1%, because that's basically what I end up giving people is 1% interest sometimes. But so the way around that is to say you are giving capital contributions to another member in your LLC. You are not giving them. It's not a note. They're not in a second position. They're on, and then the documents that PACE provided gives them the protection to say, hey, if this bitch fucks around, you're going to be able to get that LLC and the property back in 1 second. And then what do? You just sell it. You're in no better position than you were in at the time of sale. You just sell the property. You're not in any debt because you didn't have that debt in the first place. And you've made what did I give you at closing? 500 grand, you know? So you play with the numbers. Like I always tell people, like my initial agent call is always like, hey, you know, I really love this property. You know, would your seller be interested in taking like 30 to 40% down if they would hold the note? If they say yes, then we dig. Then we dig in. And then we say, oh yeah, absolutely. And then we get into, okay, can you send me the NOI? Let me know what that looks like. And then we crush it from there. Like that's that's the math. You always have to assume in your mind you're taking 75%, but you're only giving that seller maybe 50, maybe 30, maybe 40, you know, like you just whatever makes sense. And sometimes you can't even pull 75. Like we had one we were just working on before we started the podcast. It was like 12 million, but we weren't able to pull out 70 because it would have, or 75% because it would have killed the deal. So we were like, okay, if we pull 50, so then in that case, we can only give the seller 30 because in all of these deals, we were looking to have the buyer paid out at closing, which is crazy, right? Like you're being paid to buy a property, but at the same time, you need to have like an 800 credit score in order to do it.
Well, that's great. That's a great way to do it too. So now, but when you buy a DSCR, just for the people watching this maybe and don't understand that's a loan that basically is off what the property's value is. It doesn't go about your credit. It doesn't go about on anything like that so much, right?
Exactly. You can get a non-recourse loan. I feel like those are a little bit more pricey as far as the percentage is concerned. But yes, you're right. So they will look at the asset, what it's making versus what, you know, the price is and say, okay, this is what we've laid out and this is what it'll make. And this is the percentage. So yes, you're exactly right. It's property dependent rather than investor dependent.
And it cannot be for your personal use, correct?
Oh, no, it can't. It cannot. Yeah. It has to be something you're going to rent, or at least say you're going to rent. I mean, they just want to see leases.
Well, I mean, the LLC could rent it to one of the people that are on the LLC. I wonder if that's that's sure.
Yes, exactly. There's a million ways.
Yes. So and that's what we love about the Sub-2 community. There's so much creativity.
Yes.
And like this, we were at a meetup a couple weeks ago and they were talking about this. They were all becoming lenders together to help people do these deals, what you're talking about. And it's getting right now, I think you have to be able to shift in the markets because the market shifts and you have to be adaptable. And this is a great method right now to help people to get properties with no money out of their pocket.
It's like our favorite way. Like we shifted completely. Like we were doing sub-2 deals, small sub-2 deals. And what I found was that we were on the hook for like, okay, I'm making like maybe a $5,000 assignment, but I'm on the hook for this motherfucker forever because what happens if my buyer doesn't pay? What happens if this? Like it became a nightmare. And that's why we started being like, you know what, let's just do these. And I have the buyers, and then what's crazy about the mortgage method deals is I have a slew. There's a guy named Giancarlo. He's in Sub-2 too, but he's also like created the mortgage method Facebook group. He is amazing, and he has a ton of qualified buyers that he goes after. And he like when you close a deal, you're always worried like, oh, who's going to buy this? Who's going to buy this? In this way, whatever you guys do, as long as you make it cash flow, he has a buyer for it. There is no ifs, ands, or buts. It's like a conveyor belt where you just pass it and there's no worries. So that's what I've started loving about that because we got into, I mean, for the past 2 years, it's like finding that buyer and hoping and wishing and praying, you know, like that's kind of, So now that doesn't exist in this world because, you know, and they're qualified. And like I said, they have 800 credit scores. They have lenders that are willing to come to the table for them. And they already know what this is. And we have an attorney, his name's Greg Hansen. He's out of Utah. And he does all of these deals too. So it's a different world. And I'm learning different things as I go. And I'm just trying to pick it up and not being closed-minded and being open-minded on all of these things is definitely what has made me successful.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah.
And you've just been doing this for what? 2 years, Samantha? You didn't know anything.
I didn't know what escrow was. I did not know what escrow. I couldn't have told. I thought that buying a house, you had to do all the things, you know, you had to go to, I actually like applied to be, there's like a place that's like rent to own. It's probably like what I'm trying to do right now. And they denied me because I had a bankruptcy like 10 years ago. And then once it cleared, they like started hitting me up on emails like, oh, we can fund you. And by that time I was already in sub 2 and I'm like, I was done. Like seriously, like, so there, yeah, I had no clue about anything. And then, you know, you just start, you watch the stuff and you educate yourself and you start opening your mind and learning things and then talking to agents and being free and not being afraid to be like, you know, some agents are assholes and you just have to be like, okay, well, then I'm not going to talk to you anymore. Like there's no harm. No one's going to like set you on fire because you have a conversation. You just have to have a conversation to know, and then you pick up and walk away.
I always tell my guys, what's the worst they're going to say? No.
Right. Exactly. Like what
like, why are you so afraid to call them?
Yes. Exactly.
Okay. Dial the next number. You know?
Exactly.
You're like a poster child. And I mean, you do that 2 years, you don't know. There's so much opportunity for them to still step in and do something.
Yeah. Exactly.
Well, just go with the flow.
Because even if they have something that doesn't work in this traditional way, right? We now have so many other options available that we can make it work somehow, some way.
Yes. There's a million solutions for everybody as long as they're willing to, you know, take them. You know, like I had this guy who he had a property. He was tough though, and I still haven't been able to figure it out. But he wanted to take out his equity in his house, and then he also wanted to stay in it for the next year, which is really sketchy. And I've always been told, like, don't lease back a house to the owner because it gets, you know. So I haven't really messed with him too much, but like I kind of went back to him because once I learned the whole Murray method, I'm like, well, maybe I can give you, you know, half your equity, but at the same time, like, I don't know what that would look like on the back end. So that's something I haven't really explored, but that's the only thing that I haven't really been able to kind of move around. And I still keep them in the back of my mind because I don't like having a problem. Like we're construction girls, right? Like we know how to solve things. Like we solve things and that is it. Like we find solutions to your problems. And with him, like it sticks in the back of my mind just because I don't know what to do with him at this point because he needs to stay in the house, yet he needs his equity, yet he wants this. And I don't know. Sometimes it's just probably a bad thing. It's just a red flag.
I mean, at some point, you know, I know for me, right? You end up walking away from these sellers, but just put them on the follow-up drip campaign because eventually they're going to learn that they can't have their cake and eat it too.
True.
And that's when they break.
True.
And that's when it's yours.
Yeah, I keep hitting them up. I'm like, hey, what's going on with you?
So, Samantha, with all the things you have going on, a lot of people don't understand the LLCs, and I'm sure you have multiple ones. How many would you say you guys have, and for why? And why do you have separate ones? To maybe explain that to some of these people.
Okay, probably 15, only because we keep them on the side and then use them. So when you're doing the Morby methods, you need to have a seasoned LLC. So I'm going to create, I don't know, 10 of them. I always want to have 10 of them on hand so that way I can pull one in and then say, okay, now we have a tenured, you know, whatever, year LLC that's been in the making. And then I'm going to use that in order to get that DSCR. So it's super important to keep multiple LLCs. And honestly, like I'm going to even go, all the properties that I own sub 2 are in trust. You couldn't find my houses if you wanted to. Like that's how I like it because you need that protection. You need to make sure that that stuff is coveted and protected because, you know, just out of just people are assholes and then they might sue you because they fell down some stairs or someone's neighbor's dog bit them. So we have all of the properties that we own right now are in trust. Now the ones that we're doing the Morby methods with, we have them in LLCs only because that's how we have to be. But keeping them on the side and just having, you know, I think they're like $100, $150 to create. Keep them on the side and just leave them there. Leave them there, let them chill. And then when you find a property like this, you say, okay, we're going to bring this in and I'm going to change the name of it to 157 Main Street or whatever, you know, whatever the property address is. And that is why that's so important. You always have to have them in LLCs unless you want to get your ass sued off.
So with the LLCs, what do you consider seasoned? 2 years, 3 years? What do you?
A year.
Okay.
Yep.
So if anybody's thinking about doing this, this is a great time just to go out and create their own LLC for.
Absolutely.
I mean, you can do it right here per state, whatever state you live in, and just go through it. Yeah.
Just keep them on the side. Just keep them on the side and pull them when you need them. That's exactly that's what we do.
Great tip. That's a great tip. Cool. And then when they want to get bigger and do what you're doing, then you suggest to get a trust for the holding properties, not so much, right?
So our holding properties, we keep them in trust. Well, that's like our sub 2 properties to avoid the due on sale, right? Because everybody, once they see it change hands, a lot of people put their properties into trust. So what we do is, like, I have a property in Largo, 10949 105th Street Trust, and that's what we call it. So that's because, we don't want the bank to know that we bought it sub 2. So that was kind of what we were doing prior to what we're doing now. But yes, if I was ever to buy a sub 2, every time I buy a sub 2 property, it's going to be called the address, the street, trust, period. Because homeowners put their shit into trust sometimes. It's no big deal. They're not changing hands. It's not, and I have, knock on wood, not had a due on sale clause called on me on all the sub 2 deals that we've done.
Yeah.
So when you're setting up the trust, are you having to use an attorney, or is that something like you can do with an LLC?
No, myfloridatrust.com or myfloridatrustee.com. It's something like that. I could send it to you guys. I forget. I think it's myfltrustee.com. I think that's what it is. So that's just for Florida though. But you can, I mean, attorneys will draft them up. It's all basic bitch shit. It's all like, they just need to fill in the blanks, right? Like, it's just, so you can get, you can get them in any state. It's just a matter of, like, maybe an attorney, but like the ones that I use is like myfloridatrustee.com. I think that's what I use.
So it's just like you're setting up your LLC or you're setting up a trust. You're just doing it yourself for that property.
Yes. The trust they set up, so I don't have to deal with that. The LLC I already have, because it's easy. Like, setting up an LLC is super easy. And it's easier than paying Prime, whatever, to do it. I think that's bullshit. Like, I wouldn't pay for what they do. I don't know. I don't agree with them, so I can't. Prime Corporate Services, I think it is.
Right.
I don't agree with them, but you can still, you can use them. Like, if you really don't know, like, what you're doing, apparently. But like, you can go online and just say, hey, this is what I want to set up, and it takes 2 seconds. So I don't know. Yeah. I could set up my own LLC, and then the trust company, I trust them to do it. I couldn't do my own trust.
Yeah. Especially now with AI, you can ask it and it'll go and take you right to the site that you need in your state and stuff.
Very true.
It is so much easier. And I'm finding I'm using that a lot for my documents.
AI is amazing. Oh my
God. It is. I love it. Well, those are great tips. Thank you so much.
You're so welcome.
Yeah. I mean, the community, did you learn that through the community, or are you just on your own when you were with?
Honestly, like, so that's a great question. I don't know, honestly, like, where I learned that. I think it might have been the community. It might have been, like, I'm trying to think, like, back when I did it. I don't know. It probably, like, everything I've learned has been through Pace's community. So I'm going to say the community. It's probably where I ended up hearing that from. Yeah.
Yeah.
And did you find too with the sub 2? I know we've got a few ourselves, and the taxes, is it different for you with your CPA? Is it different than a normal rental? I mean, how you run your taxes on those? And
so that is a serious. I absolutely hate accounting and CPA stuff. My partner deals with all. I have nothing to do. Honestly, like, I could be further from that if I could. So my partner deals with the CPA and the accounting stuff. I'm not sure how that works. I just know how to set up the deals, close them, and all that stuff. So I don't know. I absolutely hate the CPA stuff.
So you got an integrator on your team, so that
yes, absolutely. Because that drives me absolutely insane. I hate numbers. I hate all of that. I even have her, like, I don't want to look at the bank. Like, at that point, like, I just pay it and do it and do all the things. That's it.
I feel ya. I know. I just finished our business taxes for 2024, and I always do an extension, and I'm just like, I am done. I
bet. Oh my God. And I'm looking for a good, like, real estate CPA, and it's hard to find. Like, they're like, why? Like, if there was one really good one, they would make so much money because people are always looking for them. Seriously.
Right. Right.
Yes.
I feel ya. That's too funny. So are you guys only buying in Florida then, since that's where you're at?
Yes.
Okay.
Right now, yes. Yeah. Florida's our market. Like, it's my favorite market. Like, I know it. It was my market when I was working in Tiber and doing all the renovations. So I'm like so familiar with all the areas, and I'm in Jax Beach right now. So I'm able to travel like we had an appointment in Miami to go over 11 a unit portfolio. And so it's only like 5-hour drive. So like everything in Florida is maybe like a 5-6 hour drive. So I don't mind it. Like, we'll do it, just to kind of check it out. So I'm definitely loving Florida. At the moment, like, everything is good. Like, insurance sucks, right? But at the same time, like, values are going to go up. Like, Cape Coral sucks right now, but in 5 years, it's going to be, I have a feeling that everything is going to go like exceed the valuations that are now. So I'm trying to buy cheap at this moment. And then, 5 years, let's sell high, just like, hopefully.
Right. Right. I like it. Yeah.
But
Hi, Monique. You got questions? Monique always has good questions, like Sharon says.
She does.
I think I didn't get enough sleep last night.
That was me. But I cheated. I took a siesta earlier today, so I'm good.
So when you're looking at acquisitions, where are you sourcing leads? Are you running ads? Are you just driving for I mean, obviously,
So we ran ads we spent about 25 or so. We started with Bolt deals at $2,500 a month. Okay. And they were okay. And then we started doing paper lead with speed delete. We started doing those. Okay. Those were good too. Like, my ads were basically where I generated the most income. And then when we pivoted, like, I dropped everything because we were spending like a lot of money. Like, I want to say like $5,000 a month in ads and all the things. So we were spending way too much money in ads compared to what we were actually getting out of them. But now we're just doing direct to agent, like speaking to agents and then having that conversation. And now agents just send us deals. Like, they literally send us deals all day. Like, we don't have to do shit. We just sit there and wait for their phone call and say, hey, you're going to give us a portfolio of a bunch of properties. And that's kind of where, I mean, we still reach out to agents like on a deal by deal basis. We'll go on Zillow and see like, okay, like, you got like a duplex or a multifamily. We still make those relationships with agents, but at this time, like, we have a really good amount of agents that are working for us. So direct to agents are really something. People hate agents. I hate them too. Don't blame you. But when you get a couple that are really good, they will go out and source deals for you and say, okay, I'm going to go to bat for you. We have this guy, Daryl. He's amazing. He stays on top of us more than we stay on top of him. And he'll be like, I sent you this $20 million portfolio. Let's go in. Well, he's such a good negotiator. So if you find the right one, you just have to say, it's just like with sellers, just like with anybody. You got to sift through the bullshit to get with the right one. And that is kind of where we're at with that. So DTA is a huge part of our business.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. So are you guys still running ads then, or are you not?
No, we stopped running them. We stopped running them because we pivoted and we decided to do the multifamily thing. So we kind of tried to cut costs where we could. And then we bought like a huge thing on Craigslist to where we can actually see like the mortgage balances and all the good stuff. So yeah, we definitely, we moved from the ads to something different, and it's been working for us. Like we did that for a long time, like for, I don't know, a year. We spent $5,000 in ads. Like, and ads are good, but iSpeed the lead, they are like conquering the universe. They're spending $40 million in the markets that you can only spend $2,000 in. So it's like, okay, well, you can't beat them, join them, just buy the leads from them. And that's what we started to do. And that actually started working out really well for us.
Yeah.
Is that one of those that you only pay for what you close on, or?
Yes. No, it's one where you pay for the actual lead itself.
Okay. Whether it pans out or not, you just pay for the lead. Okay,
Right.
got it.
Right.
What do you think the percentage of that was?
I think we did about 20. I'd say 25%, really, because it wasn't that much. It wasn't great.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't that much, but we have a lot of follow-ups still that are kind of circulating through the
Right.
process.
So follow-ups, I will always praise the follow-ups. Like they're definitely great.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's that rule? Like 13, I think Pace said, or somebody said it was like 13 times you touch point with somebody before you actually sometimes get a deal.
That's 100% true. That is 100% true.
7 to 10 touches before you make a sale.
Right. Right.
Yep.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Hold on.
So Samantha, for the people that are brand new in real estate, would you recommend residential or multifamily, and how would you best describe to them to get started and get moving forward?
Honestly, start small. Like do so. Okay. So if you were starting, just do like, you don't have to spend a ton of money on prop stream. You don't have to spend a ton of money on like marketing. If you just call agents, like my partner and now my boyfriend, who I absolutely love, who I found like a huge connection with, because I think that really matters too, like in your relationships. Like if you have somebody who isn't doing the things that you're doing and they don't have that outlook on what you're doing, I think that makes a huge difference because it kind of kicks things up. But my boyfriend, who I absolutely adore at this point, he is doing direct to agent, and he did it with nothing, with no money. He went on PropWire, which is free.
Yeah.
He talked to agents, which is free, and he started kind of working them down and saying like, hey, we'll do sub 2 deals. So, we have this portfolio. Like, you don't have to. I mean, yeah, you do gotta lie and bullshit a little bit, but at the same time, like you are still an honest person who was trying to come in and saying, hey, I'm going to be able to buy this property from you and talk to agents. Like, honestly, agents are probably the easiest way to get involved if you have no money. Now, if you have money, run your own ads. Or honestly, no, don't. Because when I learned how iSpeed to lead worked, I was like, oh, wow, like we could have been doing this the whole time. Because when we would lead, so I was working with like Bull Deals, and there was another company, we were paying them a lot of money too, but they were running our ads for us, and they would say, hey, you know what, iSpeed Elite is taking over this market, and they're spending like, $20,000 a month, and we could never compete with that. Like, I can't compete with $20,000 a month. Who can? So if you can't, like I said, if you can't beat them, join them. And we went in there and we started buying leads, like 20. We signed up for there's like a budget thing where you can spend $200 a month and then $29 a lead. So that's what we would do. And we would call them through. So if you have a moderate budget, then I would say do iSpeed Delete. Now, if you have a massive budget, I would find somebody who actually could manage your ads and make a difference, because it makes all the difference. Like we were spending $5 or $6 grand on our own ads, and we were seeing, I mean, I can't lie. Like we made, like I said, 70 grand on our first, or 64 on our first 2 months of wholesaling. So that was with our own ads, and those are exclusive to you. So I would say if you're just starting out and you just want to, you don't think this is possible, start talking to agents. Start talking to agents, make them your friends, make them love you, and then see what can come out of it, because they have a ton of properties, a ton of influence, and that's it. Like, and they love, like Luke, like they love him. So he's constantly getting calls from agents all the time. Like, I hear him on the phone. It's crazy to me, because it's such a, and I want to record. I keep telling him I want to record them, because it's like it's a waste just not to. Because the way he speaks to them and the way that they understand him, it's like you just come out. You have to build that rapport, just like with the seller. But the only difference with an agent is you have to appeal to their commission. Like commission is what they want. Just like with sellers, and what they want. You say, hey, I'm going to pay your commission, and they will fucking love you for life. That's what they want. That's what they want to hear. And so that's what I would say. If you have no money and you want to do this from the ground up, start talking.
That would actually be a really good idea to record him and share that with people that reach out to you.
I know. One time I asked them for a script. I'm like, what do you send to your agents? And it was like misspelled with the letters backwards.
No.
There was no secret sauce in this at all. I'm like, are you serious?
Well, I don't know. That might be the secret sauce, right? Because now I'm a real person that makes mistakes, that I'm human just like you.
That's
right.
What he said. That's what he said to me. Is like, hey, you know, they know you're not a robot, and they know that you're not like, and honestly, whatever it is, it works. Whatever it is, it works.
That's
but yes, that's hilarious. Yes, I asked him for his master script, and it's like nothing but, hey, I like this property. Give me a call.
Sometimes is the best kind, you know, one sentence, 2 sentences, simple.
But point being, it's as simple as that. Like, it's as simple as that. But people overthink and they you know what I mean? Like people, and I mean, I could maybe I don't have the overthinking mind, but my partner does, and I understand it. I understand like overthinking and, you know, wondering, but what's the worst that could happen? Like someone's gonna hang up on you, or I mean,
right, exactly, right? What's the worst they're gonna say? No, okay.
Like, seriously, so yeah, I highly recommend anybody can get into this, doing whatever seriously, because I never thought for a second that I would not have a job, like a real job, right? Like, so you can definitely move forward in this, like, and then people will trust you and know you and understand you. And there's so many opportunities out there, and it's a shame that people are in that same mentality that they have to like, oh, I have to work as a W-2 or I have to do these things, but that's not true. It's not.
Yeah.
And you're the zero.
Do I get ahead in life?
Yeah, exactly. I'm not going to get there working for some
girl.
Yeah, I spent sleepless nights like working for Tiber and worrying about budgets and worrying about like change orders and making sure all this stuff. And it was like, and I love that. I can't even say it because I love that job only because of the people that I met and networked with in that job. But like at that point, it's like, hey, you know, like you have to go on your own and make your own money, and you're not going to do it working with somebody else. It's just not going to happen.
For sure. For sure.
Oh, wow. Look at the time again, ladies.
See? Every week. I didn't even get to my questions. Fine.
Well, you can sneak it in real quick.
What?
You can sneak your question in real quick.
I was going to have her tell us, you know, a story about like her worst deal or, you know, the most troublesome person, you know, Casella or whatever. But this is, you know, story time takes time. And Samantha.
Yes. We'll have to have her back.
That's
for sure.
We will have you back, and we want to hear the story of the worst nightmare that you
I
ever
would love
had.
to. I would love to.
Deal? Okay, cool. Samantha, it was really great to have you on. Thank you so much for coming on. If anyone wants to get in touch with you, they can find you on Facebook or Instagram, right? Or go to your website at gocatalyst.group.com or catalystcodesign.com for general contracting or for if you want to buy a house or sell a house. You know what I mean. Sam, thanks so much for coming on. It was really a lot of fun to have you.
It was. So nice to meet you, Samantha.
Thank you guys.
It was great. Thanks, Samantha.
Thank you.